Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 18th February 2026. First of all, I will let you know the topics of the day. And later on, we are going to see each and every topic in detail from prelims, mains and as well as interview point of view. And at last, I will be giving you prelims practice questions on today's topics, guys. And online students, please don't skip this video anywhere. Please do watch until last so that you'll be getting lots of insights regarding this UPSC questions. Okay, now let us see the topics of the day. The first topic it is about Supreme Court gave certain advice related to the politicians, officials must foster fraternity. So this article is talking about how a politician, officers, whenever they are delivering the speeches in public, what kind of things they have to follow. That is a thing which is said by the Supreme Court, and this topic is important from your polity from GS paper 2. And next topic is India-France partnership is a force for stability in the world, says Prime Minister. So this article is talking about India-France relations. This article is very important from your GS paper 2 under international relations point of view. And next topic is 194 Bangladeshis have been deported from Meghalaya since 2021. This article is talking about deportation, and around 194 Bangladeshis have been deported. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under international relations. Next topic is 2 digital initiatives to boost health AI ecosystem launched. You know that in our country we are conducting AI Impact Summit 2026. In that, our union health minister launched 2 digital initiatives, and you have to know what are those 2 digital initiatives. On this, a possible prelims question can be expected. And this topic is important from science and technology from GS paper 3 point of view. And next topic is taxes prove futile to burn out cigarette use in India. This article is talking about taxes on cigarettes. Actually, this article is comparing taxes on BDs and cigarettes. So actually what is happening in India is the taxes on BD is less compared to that of cigarettes. And actually the initial thing that you have to remember is why we are imposing sin tax on the cigarettes is to reduce this tobacco use. But because of this differentiation between this BD and cigarette, we are not going to eliminate the use of tobacco in India. That is about this article. And next topic is India's aviation is in need of data-driven oversight. This article is very important from your GS paper 2 under governance. It is talking about aviation sector in our country. And next topic is India must mop up $500 billion a year for net zero goal. So India is having an ambitious goal of achieving carbon neutrality by 2070. So to achieve that, how much amount we have to invest? We have to invest $500 billion. So these are the topics that are there in our newspaper, and we are going to discuss in this class. So now let us discuss one by one in clear. Okay, if you see this is the article we can see in almost all editions of Hindu in the front page. Title says, politicians, officials must foster fraternity. They're talking about fraternity. What is the meaning of fraternity? Fraternity is nothing but brotherhood. Okay, to understand this article, we have to know the background. So everyone knows about this election campaigns, and in some kind of meetings, our officers will be giving speeches. Politicians will be giving speeches. Whenever they are delivering the speeches, if they are targeting a certain community like minorities, and if they are giving this hate speeches, is that right? No, it can also cause law and order problem. Recently, there is an allegation on Assam's chief minister related to this discrimination on minorities, and that speech led to law and order problem because of this hate speech, everything. And finally, around 12 members, they filed a petition in Supreme Court, and they asked that whenever the politicians, officials are giving their speeches, they have to follow constitutional morality. They should not give a hate speech. And in this petition, these 12 members, they asked that a Supreme Court has to give guidelines related to the speeches of politicians and officials. That means they should not use so and so kind of words, so and so kind of hate speech, which is targeting a group of minority like that. Okay, so in this context, Supreme Court said all these things, guys. First one here is what they said. Top court take note of the statements that stigmatize communities, legitimize discriminatory governance. So we should not focus on discrimination of any section of society per se based on religion, caste, everything. First one is there should not be any discrimination. We should not create any hate speech which is inciting law and order problem. And next one here is we need a restraint in public comments by constitutional functionaries. We have to follow constitutional values, constitutional moralities. And next one here is India got independence 75 years ago, and it is a 75 old mature democracy. So here people has to respect others dignity, others articles, others fundamental rights, all these things which are mainly said here. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. Political leaders must foster fraternity, and high public office holders should live up to the ideals of constitution. We have to follow the ideals of constitution. And the court was hearing a petition which is highlighting the instances of chief ministers, senior bureaucrats, police officers. They are making certain public statements which is stigmatizing, which is discriminating certain communities, and that will lead to discriminatory governance. If they are giving this kind of hate speeches, then what happens? Obviously people will lose trust. That will lead to erosion of public confidence. Okay, that is the thing. And this one here is the petition filed by Roop Rekha Verma highlights that there are lots of instances which led to discriminatory public statements by chief minister, bureaucrats, etc. So here these people, they are asking to come up with a guidelines which can be followed so that there will be no discriminatory governance, there is no hate speeches. Okay, what Supreme Court observed? Supreme Court bench said that India is a mature democracy of 75 years old, and we are expecting that political parties, they have to follow principles of constitutional morality, mutual respect, and as well as self-respect. That is the first important thing. And next one here is our Chief Justice Surya Kant also said that political parties to impress upon their leaders, and they have to adhere to these constitutional values. And they said that this petition raises a very serious issue because of increasing of toxic statements in the speeches. And one more person, Justice B.V. Nagaratna, stressed that we need to restrain. That means we need to avoid this kind of discriminatory governance. And next one here is one more justice highlighted that public expectations for democratic entities to live up constitutionally. Those public expectations are, these are the people who are holding certain constitutional powers. So here these people, they have to follow the constitutional values. Okay, and next one here is one more important statement they made is whatever the words that we will speak, that will comes from our thought process. Because of this, always we have to train our thought process according to the values of the constitution. Then only we can speak with this constitutional morality. That is the thing which mainly said here. Okay, now let us see what is the impact of the Supreme Court remarks. The first one here is, because of this kind of remarks which made by Supreme Court, in future we can come up with a clear-cut guidelines related to this speeches, public speeches. The first one is that one. And next one here is we can promote better political disclosure so that there will be no discrimination of certain group of societies. And next one is obviously we can improve the we can improve the trust of the people. We can strengthen the trust of the people. And next one here is we can impart constitutional morality in the thoughts of the people. So these are some impacts that we are going to see, guys. Okay, now let us see the next article. So in our today's newspaper, most of the articles are covered by this news, that is India-France partnership. So here the first article, I kept only 2 articles, there are many like this. First one is India-France partnership is a force for stability in world. And next article title here is India-France renew defense cooperation for 10 years. Call to boost military partnership. Okay, now let us see these 2 articles together. And this article is very important from your international relations from GS paper 2, guys. What exactly you have to see is, first of all, France. Open your atlas and see map of France. You may get possible question related to this France, related to map. And next one is, you have to see in which of the groupings India and France both members of. That is the next one. And next you have to see is what is this partnership agreement is about and what are the areas that we discussed. And next you have to see what are the challenges between India and China. You have to see that. Okay, now let us see the context. Our Prime Minister described that India-French partnership is a very, very special relationship and force for stability, and we are focusing on global stability in this global uncertain era as well. Okay, so here we are going for a special global strategic partnership, and in this partnership we are focusing on different areas like defense, trade, technology, energy, critical minerals, etc. And in this we are focusing on even H125 helicopter assembly plant inauguration as well, and we are focusing on cooperation in AI and even startups and as well as skilling. And if you see about the special agreements and initiatives between India and France, the first one is we went for virtual inauguration of H125 helicopter assembly line in India. And next one here is the specialty of this assembly line is it is world's only helicopter capable of flying at Everest heights. And obviously it will boost our Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense and make in India in this defense. And this one is we are going to improve defense cooperation enhancements. For example, Rafale upgradations, Hammer missiles, and we are going for even joint manufacturing of defense equipments. And this one is we are going to have 21 outcomes in defense, technology innovation, startups, critical minerals, advanced materials, health and education. And we are committed to this multipolar world, and we are going for reform of global institutions and peace efforts. Okay, that is the thing, guys. And if you see what is the impact of these remarks, the first one here is obviously we can improve our bilateral ties with this France, and we can work deeper, broader cooperation, many sectors. And this one is we can boost our defense and security. Whenever we are having this kind of agreements, obviously we can improve our military ties, especially helicopter production and as well as assembly of this helicopter parts. Obviously that will improve India's capabilities and will support self-reliance and will contribute to Indo-Pacific or Indian Ocean stability. And this one is economic and technological gains. Initiatives like this kind of plans which will create employment opportunities, and we can improve the skill of the workforce, and will also keep India's position as a manufacturing hub. And we can also focus on cooperation AI, critical minerals and startups innovations, and we can also improve our supply chain resilience as well. And next one here is we can improve our India's position in this global arena. So these are the some important things that you have to remember from this article. Okay, now let us see this article. Look at the title. 194 Bangladeshis have been deported from Meghalaya since 2021. It is very, very important article. Why? Because if you see here, Bangladesh, you know, this year Bangladesh is very important because of Bangladesh elections. because of July Charter. And even you have to see Bangladesh because Sheikh Hasina, she ousted from this Bangladesh and she is residing in India. And this one here is, we are sharing boundary with this Bangladesh. And you have to see which are the states with which we are sharing boundary with Bangladesh. That is a possible question. And here this article is talking about Meghalaya. So actually Meghalaya shares around 443 kilometers of border with this Bangladesh. And the problem with this Bangladesh and Meghalaya border here is, in this 443 kilometers of border, 76 kilometers of border is not having any fence. Here in this image you can see this is a fence. But if there is no fence, what happened? There will be easy movement of people across this border can happen. So because of this, easily Bangladeshis can enter into India and Meghalaya. That is one important problem which is mainly faced by this Meghalaya. That is influx of Bangladeshis into India. So now let us see here. This article says that from 2021 to February 2026, 658 Bangladeshi nationals were detected and prosecuted under legal provisions for illegal entry into India. Out of them, we sent back around 194. Okay, and we got travel permits and we talked with the Bangladesh embassy and we sent them back. That is the meaning of deportation. So if you see what are the measures taken by this Meghalaya government so far to control this illegal migration is, first one is they established around 11 district task forces. And what this task force will do, they will identify, they will detect and they will deport illegal foreign nationals. And they also come up with state level committee, and in this state level committee what they'll do is they will monitor identification and deportation of outstaying foreigners. And not only that, they also have multi-layered anti-infiltration mechanisms, in that they are having around 18 border checkposts. And in this checkpost, they have local police and as well as BSF who are guarding this. And this one is they are also focusing on improved cooperation from citizens also, so that they can have a clear-cut data of who are the outsiders, who are the new persons in that area, and they will be reporting about them. So these are the measures taken by this Meghalaya government so far. And next one is, what is the importance of this disclosure? Whenever we are giving this kind of information that we reported around 194 Bangladeshis from this Meghalaya, what will be the impact? The first one is it will be strengthening our state narrative on security. We are going to reinforce our Meghalaya's government's image as a vigilant border issues. That will obviously boost public confidence, and we can also improve political support to a state. And this one is we can focus on effectiveness. We can showcase our effectiveness of district task force, check post, etc. And this one is because of the successful deportation, then what happened? Obviously, we can increase cooperation with this Bangladesh. So these are the possible impacts. And now let us see the next article, very important article of the day, and you can expect a prelims based question in 2026 based on this. Okay, let us see the title. Title says that 2 digital initiatives to boost health AI ecosystem launched. So as you all know that India is conducting India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi. That you know, and we discussed about that. So in that event, our Union Health Minister, he launched 2 digital initiatives. Please make a note. First one is SAHI. SAHI means Secure AI for Health Initiative. Next one is BODH. BODH is nothing but benchmarking, BODH. Benchmarking Open Data Platform for Health AI. So these are the 2 digital initiatives that had been launched. Who launched this? Union Health Ministry. Okay, now let us see what are these everything. As you all know that in India, there is a very fast pace of development of AI is happening. And even healthcare sector also we are using this AI. That means we have to ensure that whatever the use of AI is happening, that should be used in ethical manner and it should not discriminate, and we have to use AI in a safe manner. So for that, we need to monitor this AI tools, right? For that only we launched these two initiatives. Just revise about this AI Impact Summit 2026, I already said. So first one here is SAHI, SAHI, full form is Secure AI for Health Initiative, and next one is both Benchmarking Open Data Platform for Health AI. Who launched this? Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare in India AI Impact Summit 2026, which is going on in Delhi in Bharat Mandapam. So here this launch aligns with our Ayushman digital mission, and we are having border AI mission goals. As part of these two, we deployed that so that we can ensure people to people centric AI deployment, and as well as ensuring of safe use of AI and ethical use of AI in healthcare. And actually, if you see about certain facts regarding this SAHI will provide a strategy. What is the strategy? How we have to use AI in a safe, ethical, and evidence-based manner. It will be giving a strategy so that it will give a direction for AI governance in our country in healthcare sector, and data stewardship, validation of data, deployment of AI tools, monitoring of AI solutions, and even it will be supporting states and institutions in responsible adoption. And we can go for focusing on public health priorities. Okay, next one is both. Both stands for benchmarking open data platform for health AI. What we'll do here is we will collect the data across the world and we'll give that data to this AI solutions, and it will validate the data and it will give the benchmarking, so that what happens, we can go for larger deployment of AI in different areas, so that we can enhance the transparency and accountability of use of AI in this healthcare sector as well. And next article, it is taxes prove futile to burn out cigarette use in India. This is very important article, and this time you may get a question related to this tobacco products, guys, for sure, because we studied about GST 2.0 reforms, where government came up with this one more new tax slab of 40%, and it is imposing more and more taxes on this sin products to decrease the use or discourage the use of this tobacco products. So here, because of this, there is a very high chance of getting question regarding this tobacco and tobacco related products. Okay, now let us see here this article. Just see the introduction. One puff of cigarette within seconds infuses human bloodstream via lungs with nicotine. With just one puff of cigarette, we'll get nicotine into our bloodstream. And what this nicotine do is, nicotine binds to the brain cellular receptors. And what happened, that will leads to a dopaminergic effect. They'll feel very relaxed when they have a puff of cigarette. Okay, and there are even some additives in cigarettes. In cigarettes, they'll also add certain products. What are they? Methanol, which gets nicotine to linger longer in their body, affecting CNS system. So if they are adding certain additives like methanol, the effect of this nicotine will be very long. So if the effect is very long, obviously it will be having more impact on our central nervous system. Okay, and tobacco is a major cause of death and disease in India. Obviously, if you see the data, around 1.35 million people every year they are dying because of this tobacco use, because of either cancer or lung disease or cardiovascular disease and smoke, etc. So because of this, we have to reduce this use of cigarettes. Okay, so this is the data which is given that we have to control this tobacco use in India. Okay, now let us see here what is the issue. This article is saying that from last couple of years, government efforts are taken to reduce the use of tobacco by raising of taxes. And if you see international practice in other countries, they are imposing around 75% of tax, but in India it is very less. And especially BDs are more commonly used than cigarettes in India. And this GST rates have been just 18% on this BDs, but the cigarettes 40%. So here what is happening here is government has to take proper steps to control tobacco industry in our country because it is a serious cause of concern, which is mainly said by many experts. Okay, see this once guys. And see this article, very important article of the day. Title says front and center. If you see this central theme, front of package labeling helps consumers to choose health foods. As you know, nowadays, because of rushing behind our goals, increasing of education, increasing of employment opportunities, rushing behind feminism, rushing behind equal opportunities, women empowerment, whatnot, we are neglecting our health. I don't know, will you accept it or not? We are neglecting for sure. So rather than the cooked food in your home, we are opting for outside foods, even including me. And especially women who are working, they are choosing the alternatives of fast food. Yes or no? Alternatives regarding this fast foods and even packaged foods. I saw recently one reel where mother who is just homemaker will be focusing on the health of the kids. If mother is working, she will be not having enough time, she will be always having double burden. So what she will adopt is going to the nearby supermarket and she will be purchasing ready-made foods. Like even in supermarkets we will be getting 70% burnt chapatis, rotis, parotas. So we can just bring that packet and just we can go for frying of that on the pan, right? And not only that, we are getting maggies, pastas, different things. And even I don't know whether you know this or not, we are getting ready-made cake mix and ready-made faluda mixes. So just we have to pour milk and we have to boil them, then that is done. So because of this kind of availability, we are not focusing on our health actually. So because of this food marketing or food processing became a big business nowadays. So here this article is saying that recently Supreme Court directed that FSSAI, that is Food Safety Standards of Authority of India, they have to consider introducing mandatory front of page warning labels on packaged food products with high sugar, salt and saturated fat. If that processed food is having salt, sugar and saturated fats, they have to label very big in this packaging paper, that is a front itself. That is a guidelines given. So here there is a very high chance of getting question related to this. Yes, 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 AI in your prelims. They may give you in this way, consider the following statements related to yes, 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 AI. Okay. And next here you have to see this last paragraph. It is very important. Why Supreme Court gave this kind of guidelines is there is increasing of usage of packaged foods. In that packaged foods there is increased additives and that will leads to increased non-communicable diseases in our country. And even ICMR data said that 101 million people in India, in that around 11.4% of population they have diabetes and they are suffering, and many of them they are suffering from pre-diabetics and even hypertension, obesity, high cholesterol level. Okay, so here if we are introducing this kind of guidance, at least whenever we are picking that packet to buy, we'll see that it is having certain things. So we should not take that. We should try to avoid that. Like that, it will be like a warning signal so that we can improve the health of the people. That is about this article, guys. Now let us see the context. You know this. Supreme Court has asked FSSAI to consider introducing mandatory front of package warning labels on packed foods related to this sugar, salt and saturated fat. So if you see about the facts related to this FSSAI, it has been established under Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006 and works under which ministry? Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and is responsible for what? Setting standards of the food in our country and to regulate the manufacturing, storage, distribution, sale, import of food and sufferings the availability of the safe and as well as wholesome food for this human consumption. And what are its functions? First one is it has to develop standards, like which kind of standards of food has to be met. And next one here is food safety management system. It will provide the even detailed guidelines for the businesses to implement effective food safety management. And next one here is FSSAI manages licensing also related to this food business. And this one here is it can also go for regular inspections of that companies which already given the license, so that we can understand whether they are following this food safety standards or not. And this one is consumer awareness. It will focus on that as well. Okay, so these are the some important things that you have to remember. And next article is India's aviation is in need of data-driven oversight. This article is talking about our aviation sector. If you see this aviation sector, why it is in news is in December month of 2025, Indigo, which is India's largest airline, faced operational crisis that led to surge in fares across the country. And India is the third largest aviation market. And because of this, our Ministry of Civil Aviation imposed temporary price caps on domestic flights, and DGCA, prompted by the Competition Commission of India, requested average fare data from Indigo, Air India, SpiceJet, Alaska between this December 1st to 15, 2025, and they want to investigate potential abuse of market dominance as well. And here, why this kind of issues are going on here is because of the new flight related rules came up by this DGCA. So just see about exactly, please make a note of what are the challenges we face in our aviation sector in our country. And next you have to think about what are the solutions to overcome that problems. Then that is enough. And next article it is India must mop up $500 billion a year for net zero goal. So what is this net zero? First of all, it is also called as carbon neutrality. Carbon neutrality is also called as net zero. What is carbon neutrality? Amount of carbon dioxide released into atmosphere is equal to amount of carbon dioxide absorbed. Then that condition is called as carbon neutrality or net zero. So here, if we want to improve the technology related to this carbon capture or decreased emissions of carbon dioxide into atmosphere, we need to focus on improvement of technology. For that, we need to have funds. So this article is saying that we have to use around $500 billion rupees per year so that we can reach the target of net zero. So just focus on this net zero. And last year they asked more questions on this carbon dioxide emissions into atmosphere. This time you may get questions regarding secondary pollutants and NO2 emissions, guys. Please focus on this. Okay. Now let us see this prelims practice questions. Look at the board. Focus here. Which of the following Indian states share a border with Bangladesh? West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. For sure Meghalaya will be there. And see what are the other states given. Other states is Tripura. Tripura and Meghalaya are there in each and every option, and search for others. And next question is, consider the following statements regarding FSSAI. And okay, first one is it operates under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Next one is one of its key initiatives is Eat Right India to promote safe and healthy food practices. And actually this Eat Right is a one interview based question in the final interviews also. So you have to focus on this kind of contemporary topics. And this one is FSSAI grants licenses only to large food businesses while small vendors are exempted. You have to identify correct statements. So please let me know your answers in the comment box, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And CSAT classes had been started here. Today is the 5th class, guys. And if you purchase this course on online, you will be getting both recorded and as well as live access. And the validity of this course will be till this prelims, guys. So don't miss this opportunity. If you are weak in CSAT, try to join this course as soon as possible. And the cost of this course is just 2,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees only. And if you have any queries regarding this course, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And one more thing is, new batch for this GS Prelims Mains Foundation is going to be started on 25th of this February, guys. If you want to start your preparation, please do join that GS Prelims Mains Foundation course. And for further details, you can contact us on this number, which is displayed on the screen. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can come to the institute, which is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, guys. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching.